Hey guys, Desolate Magic here, and sure, I'll show off the deck, why not? I've had more than a couple requests. My Discord server's already seen it, and that's basically guarded by Patreon, which I don't really use Patreon, it's just links in my Discord, it's the whole thing. I'm working on getting YouTube memberships in there too, but yeah, see, this is a nightmare to like a speed blitz deck, like if I was running a mono red blitz deck, you know, an all Death Toucher deck with wolves on the back end, with removal, by the way, spoiler alert. Yeah, not good. So I actually take that one because I want him dead. Now, I need one less Death Toucher to get past because, I mean, I've got the Trample and I've got the First Strike, but I just need them out of the way based on the math. So, okay, there it is, Master's Rebuke, because every color has removal now, and just assume your first creature's dead, which is really annoying, otherwise you'd win 100% of the time. I can't believe I had to get rid of a Stolen Vitality, but if they have another removal, I have no creatures, so it is what it is. Stolen Vitality is like the number one most important card in the deck, besides, I guess, the Death Touchers, because it gives your Death Touchers +3/+1 in Trample. Ouch! And remember, it's not just Trample, it's First Trample. What do I get rid of here? Oh, yeah. Okay, I just assume he's not going to be able to remove it. And I do some quick math and find out that, yeah, I actually can do 20 in one swing. Oops. Well, that is just a crying shame. Let's see what the next person does. I'll give you a hint. Loses. Quickly. This is the one where they let me go first. What? Why would you do that? Also, you know what I would love, though? I'm joking here. Going first 50% of the time. I would love that. That would be great. So whatever control cancer this is, I'm very delighted to beat it. If you're wondering why I get mad sarcastic in this footage with the emojis and taunt people, it's because I have zero respect for anybody left playing Arena, because they're all universally complete jerks. And this is what I'm doing to them and about it. Oh, that's a shame. There, phase out of D's nuts. That was a lot of damage to the face. He decides to swing to grab a card and then play nothing, which makes me wonder. Oh, that's what he's doing. Well, I'm just going to trample past it. Oops. You know what? Let's see one more game. I think we need one more example. By the way, when people said that a 2-cost +4/+3 in the common slot wasn't a mistake and that I'm overreacting and exaggerating, you clearly do not understand the subtlety and the math and the balance of the game and the history and just, here, I'll prove it to you. Here you go. You ready for this? Okay, now I'm pissed. And I'm getting land flooded in a 21 land deck, so they're throwing everything at me. They are trying to do everything they possibly can to stop me from being able to win. And the funny thing is, the first 3 games on stream, we saw all 3. Land flooded, land stranded, all creatures, all non-creature spells. We saw everything. There it is. There's the scry. I'm using it on his to scry. That is a good emergency tactic, just in case. You're going to see what that does for me. All right. So this is Red Rush versus my version of Red Rush, which is Red Rush, but actually good. There we go. All right. 20-11. I don't look scared. I ain't scared. Here we go. Evil Santa. Let's go. Hate this card so much. Him in a mono red equipment deck. Honestly, they're probably playing him. This looks more like a goblin deck, which that's weird. Yeah, we got a little boosty boy, a little indestructible there, so it stops him from being able to swing that turn, so that's a shame. Oh, get shrugged. All right. And there is number 3. There we go. I wouldn't call this particularly typical, but you mix it with any kind of double strike and you're already doing an extra 8 damage. Oh, it's criminal. It's sickening. Just look at it's. Why am I allowed to do this? Why, Watsy? Seriously, I still assume I didn't win because it's 11-3. I've got 0 cards in hand and he's got 6. But if I remember correctly, he either forfeits or times me out, or I don't know. I'm kind of watching this in real time. I filmed this a while ago. Oh, yep. Guys, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've told you, I've told Watsy, I've warned everybody, and nobody listens. Remember Mr. Nibbles back in the day? That deck was unbeatable. It was like $21, and it was this deck, but instead of double strike, it was prowess. Almost the same thing at the end of the day. And a lot of flyers. It was terrible. I just went and shredded F&M. Got first place once and second place 3 times in a row. Nobody could beat it. It was horrible. But I was getting really fed up with what people were running there, and I wanted to teach them a lesson, so I did. I don't think they learned anything, but it was funny. But yeah, if you print 1 too many double strikers for cheap, There should be no more than about 2 double strikers under 4 mana in the format, in standard at a time. That includes, pre-post rotation, everything. And way too cheap of boost, way too good of red cards, too fast of red cards. You go one too many, you go one step too far, everybody plays it. As soon as it wins 51 to 55% of the time, someone or everyone are going to play it, somewhere in between there. And that's what we have now. Now, here's the worst part. The absolute worst part about this. I'm going to be playing this every standard set that comes out, and it's only going to get worse. And what can stop this? Creatures? No. 1 control spell, 1 removal spell for every creature that I have? Yes. I don't know, the shuffler screwing me over? Yes. Other than that, me not going first 50% of the time? Yeah, that'll do it. But, yeah, other than that, well, let's just break down the cards. So we got boost, and I have balanced these so many times. Do not change this until a new set comes out, which, hey, 3 days. So, yeah, target creature is +2/+0, lifelink, very important. And then if it dies, you get a 1/1 spirit with flying. That's actually kind of huge because you can cause that to have double strike or just win in the air. Then we got Homestead Courage. I mean, it's just durable. It's effectively +2/+2 for 2, which is a bad ratio, but you get to keep them. That's not bad. And you get a connive trigger. If there's not 2 purposes to it, don't put it in the deck. So this boost, you can win the game. You can defend even against like an exile that cares about power or toughness. I see that occasionally, and it grants indestructible. So there you go. Then Flare of the Faithful. I mean, it's +2/+2 for 2, but it could be +3/+3. And if you link this up with a human, there you go. And then it's indestructible if it's a human. So that's huge. Next up, Illuminator Virtuoso, the most powerful card in the deck by far. Double Striker 1/1 for 2. They've made Double Striker vanilla 1/1 for 2 cards in the past, and they were really, really powerful. So I guess they thought, let's go even further. Well, you flew too close to the sun, now your wings are melting. Congratulations. Whenever it becomes the target of a spell you control, it connives. You draw a card, you ditch a card, and if it was a non-land, he gets a 1/1 counter forever. Really messed up. The bird should probably get banned right along with this guy, but then Intrepid, I mean, he's just a 3/1 for 2, he gains life, and he could boost everybody. Those 3 purposes make him barely passable. We really just needed more creatures. This deck does not have enough creatures. If there were 3 or 4 more creatures in here, it would be better, but there's nothing good enough. There's not another double striker, there's not a fast enough card. There's like another 3/1 vanilla for 2. It's just nothing is there, unfortunately. Then Twinblade Geist, and it can come back as an enchantment and it doesn't boost the creature at all, but it gives them double strike, which is really good for the couple creatures that don't have double strike in the deck. Almost the whole deck does, but it's just nice. Plus, it's just another double striker for 2. So this is another vanilla plus. Like, this is, I forgot his name, but he's in my modern deck from a couple years ago. Come on. The 1/1 double striker for 2. Oh, SEAL Team 6, look it up. Then we've got Antagonize. That was a mistake. I mean, I already explained it. You can't do +4/+3 for 2 at instant speed in the common slot. Nothing about what I just said is okay. Costing 2 for that much damage, not okay. That much of a boost in attack with that much toughness on it, not okay. No downside, not okay. In the draft environment, putting in the common slot, super not okay. This card's a train wreck. Then we got Evil Santa. I mean, it's permanent prowess. I told you guys that was a mistake. Still, he's barely passable in the deck. I cut him to 3 because he doesn't do enough damage. You get 2 of these in your opening hand and that's it. You're going to leave him at 5 life and just lose. You'll run out of cards. The math isn't there, but he's a nice little support card, and as a backup, you can strap Double Strike to him one of 2 different ways. So the deck has a full double synergies, I like to call it. Minimum. Some of it is triple synergy. So Furious Bellows is huge. +3 for 2, so it's a 1.5 damage per mana ratio, which is right where you want to be, bare minimum. And then Scry 1. I mean, this card was technically a mistake. And look, they put it in the common slot. Oops. It's because red's boring during a draft. We've got Lizard Blades. There you go. 1/1 for 2. You can hide from a board wipe in certain control spells by equipping it to a creature, or you can equip it to a creature that doesn't have double strike, and it will. And then you can unequip it. Incredibly annoying card. I put 4 in. Then we've got Stolen Vitality. They almost never put Trample on a red instant spell. They put Trample on red creatures, plenty, but you don't see it on red spells. Not like never, it's not impossible, but you will see First Strike, Double Strike, and pretty much everything else on a red spell before you see Trample. So the fact that they gave it optional defensive first strike or offensive trample and then +3/+1 for 2, instant speed common slot, big mistake. I ended up drafting 6 of these in a quick draft and I went 7-0. Yep. So then we've got Eiganjo. It's just offensive, defensive, 4 damage, get rid of it. Stop him from doing damage to you, get something out of the way without having to burn a boost. It's that simple. And then Plains, Mountains, that ratio, I'm thinking about making it 4-4, but remember it's actually 6-7. So that's a little closer. I'm also thinking about cutting one of these because I'm getting duplicates and it's really annoying. But it's so good though. That's the thing. It's, you know what? Screw it. I'll do it. There we go. Pull the trigger. Then we got Sokenzan, which it's 2 of these with haste. So 2 more damage. You can boost them. I've caught people off guard and won with these. And this is the last creature in the deck that you could equip the double strike abilities to, the aura or the equipment, and do some damage. Then we got Sundown. Yeah, I mean, pretty simple. You either play it first turn because there's nothing better to do, or you play it third turn. Do not play it second turn. You usually can avoid it. Unfortunately, I got color screwed enough with the tightness and the fastness of this deck, especially with the whole start being white and then the boost being red pretty much, with exceptions. I had to put in Wind-Scarred Crag. It comes in tapped 100% of the time. It gains a life. It is what it is. I was tempted to put in Evolving Wilds just to avoid pulling lands later, but if you get a 2 land start, you kind of want to get to 4, so you might not want to thin it out. But, I don't know, do what you want to do. I mean, the 1 life, I'm like, okay, whatever. But the fact that it's flexible in the future when you don't know what you're going to draw. What if you top deck a Homestead Courage and then you don't have 2 sources of white because you went for a mountain because that's what you needed at the time? So don't think that Evolving Wilds is mana fixing. It's not. Not in the first 3 turns, it's not. So the first version of this was actually mono white, and I was pulling it off, but it was winning maybe 40 to 50% of the time, and we were going equipment heavy because the boost just wasn't there. The double strikers were all in white, I believe, except for Lizard Blades, but then I thought, you know, if I'm going to build this right, let's just do it. And the equipment wasn't there, and then with equipment you were twice as susceptible to creatures getting blown away, and it just didn't work unless they weren't running control. And this is just faster, better, earlier win, less time to react. It's really simple. Well, heck, I'll show it to you. It was Blessed Defiance, Candle Trap, it was to hold him off, so we're already slowing down to almost mid-range, and yeah, it was. We're down to 1 mask when I gave up on it. Homestead just wasn't happening. Lunark was there. That was a thing. It was just, oh, get him killed because we're going to lose the control anyway. Might as well have him blow this away and then try and hit him in the air. This deck just didn't work. Runic Shot, purely defensive. You don't even have blue. Eater of Virtue, that's a darn good card. We had Vanquisher's Axe. Yes, I resorted to that. We kept having less and less and less equipment because it just wasn't working. Adamant Will, of course. Eiganjo Exemplar. Turns out it's not when any creature attacks. It's when a samurai or warrior attacks, so that fell apart in a hurry. But it's passive free boost, not in the instant spot, so that's kind of neat. Flare, because most of the damn deck was humans. You know, obviously 4 of him, duh. And then Intrepid for Knight of Dawn's Light. I mean, first strike, gain life, gain 1 more, and then it's just self-boosted, but it's really overpriced for what it does. Ugh. And then Take Up the Shield, which is an amazing card, but it doesn't do enough damage. It's cool, it's a trick, but getting them down to 0 from 20, it just didn't happen. Twinblade, Borrowed Time, cool, great. Wedding, okay, we won with this more than anything else. But then we're winning on turn 10. I'm like, we could do better. Just throw red in. Who cares? Throw red in. Let's go. I hate red. I hate this archetype. It's such a cheap, stupid win, but oh well. I mean, do something about it. Do something about it, Watsy. If you don't like this deck, do something about it. Take your balls out of your wife's purse, come into the office without a damn mask on, and ban something in my deck if you don't like me winning 75% of the time and ruining the game for everybody else. Okay? I built a deck, this isn't a net deck, and it has a high win rate. Do something about it. I just told the public about this deck too, it's only going to get worse. I dare you. Do something about it. So I would encourage people this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, to build this deck and just play standard ranked all day, as much as you possibly can. If you want to stop at 15 wins, hell, if you just want to send one person a message. If you've got the time, the wild cards, and the motivation to teach people on Arena and Hasbro a lesson, build this deck and play with it. And with all the copycat net decking douchebags that are going to see the deck and copy it, it's going to be a real durable problem. But, well, look up the definition of accelerationist strategy. The quicker I can bring this to WotC's attention, the quicker they can not do something about it. I mean, do something about it. So, yeah, can't wait for the next set to drop. This is only going to get worse. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.